Now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, June 8th, 2015. The roll will show that all members are present. Tonight's council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda, 2 minutes, 3 petitioner, 4 chairperson's report, 5 mayor's report, 6A clerk's report, 6B treasurer's report, 7 public comment, 8 unfinished business, 9 new business, 10 communication, 11 is warrant 15-11, and number 12 adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Been motion by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Makowski, for approval of the agenda as presented. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
2 minutes, and under 2A, approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held on June 1st, 2015.
So moved for June 1st, 2015.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Makowski, for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held June 1st, 2015. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
There were no special meetings on June 1st. We do not have any petitioners on the agenda. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd like to call up Mr. Mark Edwards.
John, I got it.
And at this time, the chair is going to recognize Councilwoman Abdo.
Good evening. This evening, we have a special group of people here today representing both the high school and the junior high school. Mr. Edwards is a program coordinator for the Romulus Youth Leadership Program. He is in charge of the FCCLA at the junior high school. This stands for, and I'm always getting it mixed up, so I had to ask today, for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. He's going to give a report on how well these students have been doing and how well they've been representing Romulus. And then we will have our president, the state president, who happens to also be a Romulus High School student, Alana Wilson, come forward. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Ms. Abdo. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having us tonight. I want to give a big thank you to Ms. Abdo for just being so persistent and making this happen tonight. It's the end of our school year, and things can be hectic. We both work in the educational system, and we all know how busy it can be. First, I'd like to announce and actually invite my students to come on up. We have a few of them here tonight, so if you're a current FCCLA student leadership member, come on up. And I'd like to thank their parents for taking the time to bring them out here tonight. So I'm going to have them come and stand with me. Come on. Come on. So first of all, just to kind of explain what FCCLA is to you as the council and Mr. Mayor and the community, it is the family, as Ms. Abdo mentioned, Family, Career, Community Leaders of America, and they are part of that great organization that is getting ready to celebrate its 70th birthday this week. What they do, what these students do, are not only community service events throughout the year, such as raising money, standing up inside of their school for anti-bullying and other things like that, but they also we've made many partnerships with the police department here in the city. Last year we put the prescription pill drop box in the lobby of the police station. Kayla was a big member of that, so we organize different events. This year was a member of the Construction Career Expo in downtown Detroit. We partnered with the Black Caucus. 55 of our students were able to go learn about careers in engineering and math and science. So other than just community service, it's also high academics. Many of our former students, such as William Bonham, who's here tonight, he's went on to earn a full ride scholarship at Western Michigan University. So they're doing big things once they leave the city of Romulus. And William also does come back and gives back. He gave back this year by chaperoning. So we have a good fraternity of students that continuously come back and they just work with the other students and mentor the other students. We do have a website. It's Romulus Youth Leadership. It's www.rylm.weebly.com. If you visit that website, you can see many of the events that they've worked on throughout the year and in years past, as well as a YouTube channel to take a look at some of their videos that they've produced. We are in partnership with the Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority, so we do a lot of prevention work. If we can keep these students living clean, healthy lives, we know that their chances for success are going to improve. So we're big into prevention and we're big into keeping them busy. So they do a life skills curriculum. They work on problem solving, anger management, again, just how the media can affect the teenage brain, things like that. They do so many things. We operate through the summer and through the school year, so essentially we operate 365 days a year. And we just do many, many things. The students do many, many things. So again, they have great parents. They're great students. We have great partnerships, like I said. And again, I just want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. I would like to, we're going to give Mr. Mayor, and I know I don't have enough for the council, but if you emailed me your sizes, we would provide them for you. Being the mayor, you kind of get to the top of the tier. So if we could provide you with a T-shirt from Malaya, who is our leadership advisor here from the middle school. We want to just give you one of our T-shirts. And like I said, if we could get the sizes, we'll definitely give the council some as well. They are sporting their medals tonight.
Like that.
So again, please visit our website, www.rylm.weebly.com. See what the students are doing. Continue to follow up. Give us feedback on our program. We're always trying to get better. And I want to bring up Miss Alana Wilson, who is the state leadership president for FCCLA. If she could come on up. And we're just going to have Alana kind of explain and describe her role with FCCLA.
Everybody. I was elected this year as state president. Just recently, last month, we had CTSO training, which is Career and Technical Student Organizational. And what we did is we start.
Can you speak like directly?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's kind of directional. I think.
And what we planned out at that conference, we had all organizations in Michigan, such as BPA, HOSA, FCCLA, FFA, Skills USA. All of us were there, and we talked about ways, not just as certain organizations, but as a whole in the state of Michigan, ways that we can better each organization. And as president of FCCLA, me and my council think of ways to make every possible thing for each region, every school, that's a part of this organization to have the biggest role possible. All of the council members, besides two, go to separate schools. And so we have a widespread, variety, social media outtake. And what we try to do is influence as many people as possible. And we're, the main goal this year is to increase membership. And however many middle schoolers are joining the high school, I hope that they all, stay into FCCLA. They'll have a blast. More so in the high school. I know they do a lot in the community. We do a lot, in the school, and I know they do too. A lot of our projects are more personal, such as dealing with, personal growth items, like, bullying in families, things like that. And actually this year in April at our state leadership conference, the high school students received 10 gold and 3 silver awards. We had 8 members receive 5-unit recognition for the power of one, and we were awarded the 5-star chapter award at gold level of recognition for our community service. And that's a big accomplishment for Romulus. We're very proud of that, and I'm very happy that I'm here to be able to explain all this to you guys, so thank you.
Thank you.
Just to follow up, I know Alana mentioned their awards and accolades, which they did an excellent job. Our middle school chapter, they also did a very nice job. They received 22 gold medals, 3 silver, and 18 of our students were invited to the national conference that will be in Washington, D.C. later this summer. So in addition to winning the Spirit Award, they did a nice job on their personal projects, as did the high school. So we're very proud of them, and we want to keep them moving forward into the next level of their education. Thank you again for having us. Any questions for the The middle school students?
Any questions? Oh. Hi.
I'm Kayla Leonard. I'm in 8th grade. No?
Any- Okay.
I'll just have them introduce themselves. Go ahead and introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Alea King, 8th grader.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel Delva. I'm an 8th grader.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Skylar Wade. I'm an 8th grader.
Hi, I'm Madison Bonham, and I'm an 8th grader.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Terry, and I'm an 8th grader.
Yamisha Jones, 8th grader.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Mr.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a certificate of recognition for the FCCLA at the junior high and one also for the high school.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for recognition. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Mr. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Choate,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Okay, you done?
Mr. Edwards, what this means is I'll be delivering to you a certificate of recognition to your organization from all the signed council, which I'll bring it to you at the junior high. And we thank you for representing Romulus well.
And another thing, can we give our sizes to Ms. Abdo to forward it to you? Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay. At this time, I also like to bring up Pastor Bob Hopper.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Bob Harper, and I'm the pastor at the Little White Church, Romulus Wesleyan Church at the Five Points Corner. And Mary, you seem a little lonely over there. You need a little company or something next to you. Just wanted to pop in and make sure that everyone in the community and in here was aware of that Sunday, this Sunday, the 14th, at 10 a.m., we are celebrating our 160th anniversary. And I just wanted to invite all that want to come to the service. You're welcome. We're going to have a praise and worship band play in the afternoon after the service, and we're going to have some food and some conversation, and I hope you can, whoever can come and share some stories or share something that we're not aware of maybe that you'd like to share with us. But I wanted to make sure everybody knew that this Sunday, the 14th at 10 o'clock is our 160th celebration.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Roscoe.
I have a
I
question.
want to ask for a no fee permit for you for Mary Ann Banks's park, if you're going to be using the park.
That'd be really great.
If someone would
Support.
me.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Makowski for no fee permit. Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Makowski.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Mr. Kraut.
Yes.
Ms. Choate.
Yes.
Mr. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Mr. Barton?
Yes,
I just
Mr.
have a
Wadsworth.
quick question. Pastor Bob, is that the original building and the original site there, or did it come from someplace else?
The part of the building that's the closest to the point, to the clock, is the original. The add-on is the one that's closest
I
to
know,
the
but-
parking lot.
But that is the original
That is-
spot it was
yes,
built in,
correct.
160 years ago.
Yes.
Quite a feat, quite a feat.
There's also, we're pretty well known for those of you who don't know, we are known for harboring slaves, if you will, making sure they get safe transport through the railroad, through our tunnels that are underneath our church back in the 1860s.
Very interesting place, very interesting place of worship. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Pate.
Hi, I'd just like to ask for a resolution honoring 160th anniversary of the Romulus Wesleyan Church.
Support.
Who made the motion?
Actually, Stacy, well, I'll
No,
make the
she-
motion.
yeah,
I'll
I beg your
support.
pardon.
She can't make the
Thank you.
motion.
Got it.
Thank you.
And who supported it?
Glad I did.
You did, Mr. Kraut?
Yeah.
The motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Mr. Kraut for that resolution. Ms. Makowski,
Yes.
Mr. Kraut,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
For anyone that has the more hazardous material that want to get rid of, it's another date, June the 20th, at Henry Ford College, located at 5101 Evergreen Road in Dearborn. And the phone number, if you have any questions of what to bring, is area code 734-326-5708. It's 734-326-5708. That concludes the chairperson's report.
If I may,
Okay.
I'd like to
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the chairperson's report.
support.
Okay. It's been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Makowski, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, council, treasurer, clerk, deputy clerk, and audience. Rather than a quote tonight, I brought a quick scripture that my Uncle Paul used to sign in all the graduates' cards when they graduated. Last Saturday, we had the commencement. We had a prom toast, a lot going on, a lot of festivities. I know that over this last weekend and several weeks to come, we have also a lot of graduation parties. So it's Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6, pretty quick, and it goes as this. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all the ways acknowledge him, and he will make your straight paths. And that's good advice for both middle schoolers, graduates, and all of us. So wanted to share that with you. A couple of things, looking for some action before I get into my one item on the agenda. We have some birthdays that came up that are coming up this week, and one I would like to ask council for is milestone birthday. It's an 80th birthday for Ken Berlin. If council would do so, please.
So moved. Support.
The motion by Mr. Kraut, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for resolution for Ken
Berlin?
Berlin. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next one is also a milestone. It's a 90th birthday, and we all know Mr. Nathaniel Butler was last week, was his 90th. So if council would please do a resolution for him.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
To wish Mr. Butler 90th birthday.
It's been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Mr. Kraut. Resolution for Mr. Butler, 90th birthday. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Next, really just a reminder for an event that's coming up. We have later this month on our off Monday, it's June 29th, 5 p.m. We're going to be doing a little ribbon cutting at the new pavilion at the Coleman Center. So it's welcome to all. Please come out and join us as we cut the ribbon on a nice new building that will be utilized by our public. An announcement really to seniors. We have Senior Olympics that are coming up in July. They're going to be July 27th through the 31st. But registration deadline is the end of this month. About the 26th is actually the deadline for registration. We usually have a pretty good group of seniors that get involved in Senior Olympics. So if you're home and you're watching and you maybe just haven't registered yet, please come out and get involved and get your application in before the 26th of June. And then I do have one memorial resolution I would like to ask for. That is for the family of Roy Webb, who passed away this last weekend, and he's at Utes tomorrow with a visitation and service at 5. Roy Webb, please.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
The motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mr. Kraut. Memorial resolution for Mr. Webb. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The only item for action I have before you is 5A, and what you have is just a request. You'd previously approved the BSNA, and what this is to authorize the attached change order. The amount's $29,155, and this is for the purchase of the inventory management system as well as the Access My Government/financials for the city of Romulus. So it's an additional part of software for the initial investment that you approved earlier in the year.
I'll make the motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to authorize a tax change order in the amount of $29,155 for the purchase of BS&A inventory management system as well as SS MyGov Financial for the City of Romulus financial management system. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And before I close out my report, we all know that we're July 1 moving to some different bends with a sanitation system that was approved by council. We have tonight Patrick Greavy from Waste Management. And what we'd like to do real quickly is just for the audience and for the people at home, and I put flyers over by the table, just a kind of quick reminder of what's coming July 1st. So, Mr. Chairman, if I could have Patrick come up, please, and we could run that, Roger, for the audience, that would be awesome. Sure. This is a PSA that we had done internally with the support of Waste Management.
The City of Romulus wants to do a new rubbish removal program starting on July 1st of 2015. Delivery of the 96-gallon refuse cart and the 64-gallon recycle cart will start June the 15th and will commence through June the 26th. The carts will be placed curbside in front of your residence. A program information packet will be included in your cart, along with a postcard that can be used for requesting the larger 96-gallon recycling cart. Waste Management must be in receipt of your postcard by July 31st, 2015. After that date, there will be a delivery fee for exchange of carts. It's very important that you read all of the program information delivered with your carts to be sure you get the maximum value from the program. There are 3 different types of refuse carts. One will be the 96-gallon refuse cart, which will be a standard issue. There will also be issued a 64-gallon recycle cart, and for senior citizens, if they wish, they can have the 36-gallon senior citizen cart. Information regarding acceptable materials that can be recycled is listed in the program information flyer and on the lid of your recycling cart. Should you wish to have the larger 96-gallon cart for recycling, you may do so. July 1st through July 31st is the time frame for residents to select larger cart sizes. If you are a senior citizen and desire the smaller refuse or recycling carts, contact Waste Management at 866-797-9018. That's 866-797-9018 to request the replacement of the larger carts. There will be no fee for senior citizens after July 31st. On July 1st, Waste Management will provide its first curbside refuge and recycling pickup using the new carts. All carts must be placed curbside with at least 3 feet distance between each cart. Please refer to the program information flyers for instructions on placing bulk items and additional bag refuse that will not fit into your cart. There are no changes to the yard waste program, and residents will continue to use properly marked containers up to 32 gallons and bags with a maximum weight of 50 pounds per container or bag. On your scheduled pickup day, Waste Management will send 3 separate trucks through your neighborhood. One to pick up the recycling materials, and the second truck will be to pick up your normal refuse, and the third to pick up your yard waste. Waste Management will provide additional carts for an additional charge of $4 a month. Contact Waste Management for information. Every cart has a serial number coded to the address where originally delivered. For additional questions, you may contact Waste Management at 866-797-9018, or you may email Waste Management at the email address shown on your screen.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to recognize, we had our team do that internally, Mike Liskask and his team, and you might have recognized Jen Freyer as one of our participants in the video, and that was the world-famous Dennis Davison's voice doing the voiceover. So they did a nice job. We're trying to get the word out I don't know if council has any questions or concerns. We're going to be doing this at this meeting, then at the next meeting as well, correct, Patrick?
Correct.
Just so that we can make sure people get the word. It's been out on Facebook, website. We've had displays throughout the community, flyers. So I guess any questions council may have while Patrick is here or anyone in the audience.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Just a quick question again, and I brought this up when we had these meetings. If the homeowner has a mattress, a small chair, a couch, they still put it out and it'll get picked up?
That's correct. Bulk
Don't have to try to stick it in the bin or anything.
No,
Just
they
put
don't.
it on.
That's correct. Your bulk
Put it-
items are collected along with your weekly service, so they would
So
just...
then, when that vehicle comes by and empties out the bins and the couch is left, someone will come behind with a different truck?
Correct. If the driver can't take it himself with the truck you saw in the video, then he'll call that in that I need somebody else to come to
So you're
such and
saying
such
that the
place.
vehicle may empty the bin and then reach down and try to grab the other stuff too?
Yep, depending what it is and how heavy it is. Some of those things they can hand load into
understand that.
into that bin, but if they can't, then they'll call in the address and another truck will come.
It'll get picked up that business day, or right away
Correct.
after the day is over?
Correct.
Good, thank you.
Correct.
Ms. Abdo?
Let's say a resident just accepts the two size containers that you offer, and after a week or two decides that they need the larger one for recycling also. Is that a problem?
That is not a problem at all. In fact, if I can walk up, I have some of the flyers. I brought some of those with, and it's a photocopy of the postcard. I'd like to hand those out so that
Okay.
each of you have them in advance so you can see what your residents will be getting. So let me walk up and hand those to the
Alright.
clerk, and then I'll come back and speak to you. So beginning on July 15th, which I believe is a Monday, and continuing for approximately 2 weeks thereafter, we're going to start the cart delivery
I
process.
believe you mean June the 15th.
I'm sorry, June 15th, yes, thank you. Beginning on June 15th. Getting ahead of myself here. I'm excited about starting the program, I guess. Every resident will get the two carts that you saw, the standard set out, as we call it, the 96-gallon trash cart and the 64-gallon recycle cart. Inside of that cart, and you could see it hanging out the top of the lid, is going to be one of these flyers that is being passed around. Also, the postcard that they can mail back if they wish to upgrade from the 64-gallon recycle cart to the 96-gallon recycle cart. So they'd have two that are exactly the same size. What I would suggest residents do, and what we ask residents to do, is everybody's going to get the standard carts, and I'd ask people, to the extent that they're willing to, they don't have to, but if they're willing, to try them out. Try out the standard size before they decide. As you saw in the video, they've got the entire month of July to mail back that postcard if they'd like to upgrade that cart size from 64 gallons to 96 gallons. And what I would suggest, use them for a couple weeks. We'll still change them out if at the end you decide you don't want it, but use the carts for a couple weeks and see if you like them, see if they provide enough capacity, and make sure they're right for you. Even if you wait till the very last day and drop that thing in the mail, as long as it's mailed before July 31st, we're going to bring that cart out and do that swap for you at no charge. After that, if residents decide they want to change that recycle cart, they still can, but there's going to be a delivery fee associated with that. So my recommendation, try them for a couple of weeks, swap it after that if it's not working for you. In terms of the senior citizen cart, they can make that change at any time because that's for residents 65 and older, and for the whole term of the contract, we're going to have more people that reach that milestone and decide, hey, maybe I want to decrease the size of my cart. So all they have to do is call us, and we'll come out and change one or both carts to the smaller size, the 35-gallon. But again, I'd ask even the seniors to try out the standard set out. You're going to be really surprised at how easy they are to maneuver, how well they work, and that type of thing. Again, you're going to see the set out start. It's going to start on June 15th. It's going to take probably a couple weeks. We have over 14,000 carts we need to deliver in your community. We'll be meeting with your staff and the mayor's staff this week to kind of go over the different addresses. We have a list of all the addresses in the community, but there's some where we may have questions because of the configuration of the property or what have you. And so we'll be talking with the staff about that. There will be some unique situations as well, which we'll need to address along the way. So again, we ask people just to call us if they have a concern or they need something. We'll have a route manager come out to take a look, evaluate the situation, and decide if there's maybe in certain situations something different that we need to do. The last thing I'd like to say, it's going to be a big change for your community. People are going to have questions. Probably your phone is going to ring. And to the extent that it does, ask them to contact us, to look over the information, email us, or call us at the number with their concerns so that we can address it for them. It's going to take a little while for the program to settle in and people to get used to it. They will have questions, but after about the first month of the program, it's going to, you'll see that it'll settle in pretty well in your community, and any calls or things of that nature will start to tail off. And so we'll be available, our route manager will be available, our customer service people to deal with those calls and those questions. And so we just ask with everybody's patience as we roll the program out and the residents become accustomed to it.
Mr. Barton?
Yes,
I have
Mr. Wadsworth.
One more question. If a person does not want the big green can he's got to go all the way down to 36, or can he get to 64, the green trash can?
There's only the 96 or the senior card in the trash can, so.
Senior cart in the trash can, smallest one there.
Correct, yep. But there is not a 64 in the trash can.
Okay, fine, thank you. And if they're gonna make the switch, does the party have to have their other two available for switching, or?
What we'll try to do is coordinate that on the set-out day, so as we get those cards in, we're gonna be able to tell where those residents are, what part of town they're in, and what street they're on. And so we'll know when they're gonna be set out at the curb, and we'll be able to pick them up then.
Thank you.
Say, for instance, say if you rent one for the $4 a month,
Yes.
and then you say, well, I don't want to rent it for a year, and you just rent it 3 months. Would you come pick that up, or you have to go a whole year, or what? How does that work?
Typically, it's gonna be, initially, the rental period is going to be a year, but if a resident cancels, they decide after 3 months, as you indicated, we'll come and pick that card up and refund the difference to them. People are gonna move or have other circumstances that may change, and so we recognize that and will work with that resident in that situation.
Okay. Thank you. Any more, Mrs. Page?
I see that you accept plastic containers. What about plastic like on the newspaper? Do you guys take that, or that's trash?
The plastic, like the
Covering on that they
film
sell?
bags or the grocery bags.
Yeah.
They accepted those for a little while, and then the problem they had was at the processing facility, they started to get wrapped around the wheels on the belts, and we're actually shutting down the facility. And so the processing facilities that we use no longer accept those. So that would just go in the trash.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
If there are no other questions, if things arise, the information, the numbers there, contact our office or Waste Management. We'll try to walk you through it, and we'll be patient. We'll be back at the next meeting as well. So thank you, Patrick, for coming out, and thank you, Roger Cadu, for helping us with the assist. Appreciate that.
Yes, that was excellent, the video. We might
Yes.
have to
We have
use that a few more times.
We have a good team. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks for
Great
being
job.
here.
Thank you.
And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
See you in a couple
Thank
of
you,
weeks. Good night.
Hey.
6A is the clerk's report. Item 6A1 for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 14/15-19 General Funds, and this was to allocate the necessary funds for the Teamsters, ASME, and non-union retiree health care buyout as authorized. This budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of June 1st, 2015.
So moved.
Support.
There's a motion by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Choate, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 14/15-19 General Fund. Any discussion? Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
I vote yes, too.
Did I call you? Okay, thanks for voting.
Yep, my pleasure.
Next.
Okay. Item 6A2 for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 14/15-22 General Fund. This budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of June 1st, 2015, and this budget amendment is to set up the necessary transfer to Tifa due to an unexpected adverse MTT settlement.
So moved. Support.
Been motion by Ms. Makowski, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 14/15-22, General Fund. Any discussion? Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A3, Lynn Conway is requesting a one-hour study session for Monday, July 13th, and this is to review the requested revisions to the purchasing order. The study session would start at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7:30.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for July the 13th.
Support.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for study session June, was it July
Did I say July? It's June. It
22nd?
should be July,
July.
yes.
At 6:30 to 7:30 for revision of the purchasing ordinance. Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
I vote yes as well.
You know why I keep missing? Because at first she was absent. She wasn't supposed to be here. So I crossed her off, but I put her back in.
Bring me back.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, Ms.
That's
Makowski.
okay, that's okay. 6A4 is a study session request from the clerk, and I'm asking a 30-minute study session for June the 22nd, 2015. This is to discuss the changes in the fee schedule, and we're asking for 7 o'clock for this to start at 7 o'clock.
So moved.
Support.
A motion by Mr. Kraut, supported by Ms. Makowski, for a study session for our clerk, Ellen Braggs, to discuss the changes to the city fee schedule. Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth? Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. That concludes the clerk's report. 6B is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, and deputy clerk, as well as the audience. I just want to remind everyone that tax bills are being prepared, and you will receive them on July 1st. The look of the bill is going to change a little bit. It was to simplify it, so it was easier to understand, and I hope you like the new look. If you have any questions, you can certainly call the treasurer's office at 734-942-7580. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 7 is public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda that allows the audience the opportunity to address council with comments and concerns for up to 3 minutes. If you did not submit a written request to speak before the meeting, please raise your hand, and after being recognized by the chairperson, approach the podium, state your name, address, and again, please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and we do not have any written requests.
Okay. From the audience, Ms. Lemon?
Good evening, Jan Lemon. First of all, tonight, as you can see, the cemetery board members are here, and I just want to acknowledge everything they've done. We are 99% satisfying the residents. They're very happy. The cemetery looks better than it's looked in decades. It looks Victorian. It looks clean. Thanks to Pastor Bob and his crew. Things are going very well in the cemetery. I just have one small problem. 3 months, the Cemetery Board of Trustees have been asking for a schedule on what it would cost when July 1st takes effect, on what it's going to cost for this one person and the equipment to do this vault company transfer. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as the board is concerned, there has been no question about the Ball Company doing this process. But the board has not been given the opportunity to figure this out, to discuss it. 3 months we've been asking for a study session for the cement pad. Now, I understand there was a meeting held, and the husband funeral home says that this cement pad is going to go in there between now and the 1st of July. That's what they're saying, okay? We have not had a study session with the council to discuss the fact that we have opposed this from the very beginning. I have literature that I can give to council to show you why we opposed it. We went to the places. We looked at those that already have this cement pad and what the end result is. So we're just asking if somehow we can get the 1st of July is coming. Is this going to take effect without a study session for the cemetery board?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I'm not aware of any request for any study sessions with council. Are you, Madam Clerk? There's
No,
been
we
no
haven't.
request to my office made for any study session. There have been some discussions and meetings with DPW staff and with the clerk and with discussion with the vault company that I have not involved in. But if they want a study session, we can bring a request before council and do a study session.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I guess we had a meeting to discuss with the vault company, the funeral directors, because letters have to go out informing the funeral companies that the new changes where the vault companies will be providing services for the families. We had a meeting to discuss the process. How does it work? How does it work in other communities? It's more internal so that our office is prepared, so that those letters are going out. And so for communication, it didn't require the board to be there for that meeting. Because it's an internal thing that we're trying to make out on our end with DPW and the clerk's office, as well as the funeral homes, that we know exactly what the process is and working out the process. So we haven't had an opportunity because we just had that meeting. We wanted to make sure before those letters have gone out. With regards to the pad, that is really premature. I mean, we're not there yet in order to bring a study session because a lot of discussion has to go on. We have to look at it, work with finance. We just got our budget approved, so we have to sit down. That's the next phase, to sit down with DPW, with our finance department, and kind of make sure we have a breakdown of what it's going to cost for for the changes to cover the costs for manpower hours for the cemetery. So I know that you all are eager, but there's a lot of steps that have to take place before we don't want to bring this to council and we're not prepared. So we want to make sure we have all of the information so that we can bring to the board as well as bring it to council. So we're not ready for a study session as of yet. As far as the vault companies, it will take effect July 1st. That is going to affect July 1st, where vault companies will be providing the service for tents and chairs. And that's kind of where we are with this right now.
Okay, then the vault company, July 1st, will do services just like our city does services now. They'll be going to the gravesite, they'll be putting their tent and chairs, since that's going to be their responsibility, correct? They're going to go to the gravesite, they're going to set up their chairs and tent, and then the additional money is going to be paid from the families to the ball company.
The arrangements and the costs and everything will be handled through the funeral home, between the families and the funeral director. They will handle the costs as far as, with the funeral arrangements and the vault company. Right now, there isn't any additional money because what we're trying to do is make sure that we are recovering our costs. We're always in the red, every month, and right now, even what we're collecting, our fees, it still doesn't cover all of our costs and what it costs for our guys to go out there just the services that they're providing now. So, you know, the next step is to make sure that we are recouping our costs for the services that we're providing. So before fees and things are adjusted, which of course that would be, that would have to come before council to approve that. But we have to take one step at a time with this. So it's new for us, it's definitely new, and so there's a lot of things we have to work out, so we're looking at it very, very carefully.
And I would concur with the clerk, Mr. Chairman, that as soon as they're ready for, the changes and the fees, those will all come to you. That'll be part of a study session. And when she's the sexton of the cemetery, when she says she has that prepared and ready to bring to you, we'll be happy to do it.
Right.
But I haven't had that request yet, so.
I'll add that the fees for the cemetery will not be on the fee schedule to discuss, because we have to discuss that with the board. We have to discuss it, with finance. There's just a lot, there's a lot of layers to it. So to make sure, again, that we are covering our costs with the current fee schedule that we have. So there's no additional monies right now. It appears that way, but there are not any additional monies.
Well, in the past, everybody knows, one burial has been a huge amount of money. But since the mayor has cut things down, there's less people in that cemetery doing the work, which cuts down on the wages that goes out there for each burial. We've always been in the red, and that's sad that we have always been there. The cemetery board is 100% in favor of this vault company doing what has to be done. But just let it be known right now, we are not in favor of any cemetery pad, and as soon as the sexton can get a study session so we can get this all out in the open, get it done and over with, I think it's going to be best for everybody. I have people, when I go to the roast beef dinners, I have people coming to me, Jan, what's going on with this? Have you heard? No, I have not heard.
It's just not time. It's a little too premature, Ms. Lemon. We will report to you again. We just had that meeting, and at the next board meeting, then I'm prepared to give you a report as to what came out of that meeting with regards to, the vault company and things.
So our next cemetery board meeting is the 23rd, which will be the day after this meeting. And maybe we can kind of get some idea of what these fees are going to be. I am thinking of the burden on the taxpayer, Mayor. I really am. I know costs go up, and people have to understand that. You can't be buried anywhere less expensive than Romulus Cemetery. All the other cemeteries around us, their fees are very high. But we are just a small little cemetery, and we need to keep that in mind when we're trying to mess with the public's money. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? No other comments? Madam Clerk, we'll close it out.
Number 8 is unfinished business. Number 9 is new business.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, Ms. Makowski?
We've got some information here, and just as a transition about the Romulus Memorial Cemetery, there's going to be a flagpole dedication ceremony this Sunday, June 14th at 3 p.m. And it's a joint thing with the City of Romulus, the board, the Romulus VFW Post 9568, and they're doing that on Flag Day, so please come out there to the cemetery, 3 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I
Yes.
can add, and for families that would like a flag to take out, the clerk's office, we have flags that are free of charge for families. If you stop by, you can get a flag.
Nice. Thank you.
Is there any more new business?
I
Yes,
have more communication, excuse me. Can I go ahead?
Well,
No, we still on new business.
Are we on new business?
I'm sorry.
Okay, then
Okay.
we'll move on to communication.
Now we, communication.
I just want to discuss some of the summer recreation programs that are being offered. I know that we announced some last week, but we have some other ones that are currently being offered. Zumba and youth dance programs, youth softball and soccer programs, youth golf clinics at Gateway, at the golf course. Also, there are 2 sites this year for the youth day camp. I know Ms. Makowski and I were discussing what a great deal the day camp is. For the price, it's a great deal. You can sign up. It's a very popular program, and it's affordable for all families. All the information you need for more information or to register for the program at the Romulus City Hall Recreation Department. All the flyers we have and registration forms are also available on the city website. And one last thing, I guess, reminding you that we have the Cedar Point tickets at City Hall. They're really a good deal. It's a lot less than at the gate. So please check into that before you head out there, or Cedar Point.
Any other comment? Yes, Ms.
Yeah,
Makowski?
communication, one other thing, you know, I love that library, and we've got a summer reading program going on right now. And just a little bit of advice, probably you might know this, but during the summer months, read daily to your young children, read chapter books to school-age children, encourage your children to spend time reading and looking at books, and talk with your kids about what they're reading. And then, of course, please drop into the library. We've got a great children's library and a great group of people working there, and they'd be glad to help your child extend their love of reading. So, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Roscoe?
Well, this Friday starts our Sounds of Downtown. So come on out to the Historical Park. And this Friday night, it's the band Remedy. They're a rocking country band. 7 to 9 o'clock. Bring your chairs, bring your, snackies, whatever. Hopefully you don't have to bring your blanket. I think it's supposed to be fairly nice. But they'll have some refreshments and concessions there. Also, but remember, every Friday night, if you don't have anywhere to be, come on down. It's always a good time. See lots of friends and people you haven't seen in a while. And also, the farmers market will be starting soon. And I'm not sure, is it this Wednesday or next Wednesday? Do we know? This Wednesday or next week? Next week, Wednesday. Mark your calendars, noon to 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
extended
out here.
hours this time, because we had people that wanted to come. You remember, it used to stop at 4. A lot of people wanted to stop on their way home, so it's going to be at 6. Same location.
Yep, same location.
Wait a minute, Ms. Abdo.
This last week, that's why I didn't.
Okay.
Just a reminder, we also have the Youth Softball League for the Romulus Recreation Department. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays. It runs July 7th through August 20th. It'll be at St. John's Lodge, number 44 Community Park, and the registration deadline is June 29th. They do need volunteer coaches also. Let me give you this phone number for the Recreation Department in case you have any questions on things that you might be interested in. The number is 941-8665.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. The reason I said I seen softball league, boy, that scared me there. But then I seen youth, so that eliminated me.
Are you coaching? Is that what I heard?
Thank you. All right, I tell you, I'm still healing.
They did you in, didn't they?
Right. Any more community? None?
All right. Number 11 for approval is warrant 15-11.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Cho.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay warrant 15-11 in the following funds. General Operating Fund, $62,030.98. Major Street Fund, $3,748.93. Local Street Fund would be $2,628.64. The cable TV would be $238.85. Street lighting, $43,334.93. Sanitation fund, $83,220.07. Community Development Block Grant is $6.50. 911 is $3,809.38. Law enforcement, $2,984.73. Narcotics Enforcement Fund, $440.95. DDA is $6.83. Tifa District 2, $8.12. Water and Sewer, $398,926.02. Motor Vehicle Fund, $43,238.24. Technology Services, $9,980.99. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $3,228.25. Revolving Fund is $890.75, and the Payroll Fund is $63,121.86, for a grand total of $721,845.02.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Choate, supported by Ms. Makowski, to pay warrant number 15-11 for $721,845.02. Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Makowski?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Warrant number 15-11 will be paid.
Number 12 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kraut?
Yes.
Ms. Choate?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you.